I thought I'd be starting this discussion by saying that Moe Letter Blues was not a very good episode of The Simpsons, but ultimately I really enjoyed it. Now, I'll have to give a spoiler warning in a moment and explain what happens at the end and why it turned itself around. But I still feel like, for the most part, the journey wasn't great. But once we got to the destination, it was worth it. This is the 21st episode of the 21st season of The Simpsons, directed by Matthew Nastuk and Mike B. Anderson. And various fathers go on this ship with their children. And I do feel like it was a bit forced. They needed a narrative where various characters, namely Homer, Apu, and Lovejoy, were away from their wives. And with their children as well, which is also important. And I feel like it just felt forced. It didn't feel like a believable thing. But once I kind of got over that, I, absorbed the main narrative in which Moe has written a letter to all three of them, just one letter for all three of them, saying he's running away with one of their wives. But whose wife? Will it be Marge? Or Manjula? Or Helen Lovejoy? And throughout the episode, they try and work out who it could be. They reflect on their marriage, things their wives have said, things their wives have reacted to try and piece together the puzzles of who it could possibly be. And I was genuinely curious. I will give it that. I didn't think what was presented was interesting. I didn't think the specific scenes we were shown were that fascinating. But I was still curious. And ultimately, what we found out, I thought worked very well. So with a spoiler warning now, I'll discuss this. So spoilers, I'm about to reveal exactly what happened. And I was kind of moved by it and thought it worked well. Oh, but what I will say is I don't love Moe narrating it. It does work, I'll give it that. But I mentioned, I think like 2 episodes ago, where the narrative began to be narrated by Mr. Burns. A couple of episodes before that, we had it narrated by Sideshow Mel. And I'm really hoping this isn't something that's going to crop up every couple of episodes with a character narrating bits of it, because I don't like it. But it did work for this one, because what we find out is that actually Moe hasn't run away with anybody's wife. He realised that Homer, Apu and Lovejoy were not treating their wives the way they deserve. And Moe basically said, you need to wake up and realise that you're not treating these women the way they need to be treated, and you have everything. And Moe, who has nobody, knows how to treat people right. And it's like, is that fair? And he gave them this wake-up call. And I thought, actually, that's kind of sweet. That's kind of moving that he would do that. In quite a nasty way, let's be honest. But in a way that I think was probably effective. And I hadn't seen it coming. And I thought that was actually a really, really good direction for the narrative to take. And I applaud it. Because I think everybody, all of us, can do well to just make sure we're treating people with the love and respect they deserve rather than taking them for granted, as our main characters did. So actually, while I thought it was quite dull throughout most of it, it was worth sticking with it because ultimately Moe Letter Blues turned out to be pretty good.